The biggest issue is that the prevailing primary and secondary education systems and examinations prevent the student from devoting time to achieve the much desired core values required for the higher and tertiary education. The survey of OL and AL students to find out how time is spent up to the exams revealed this. I did a small survey on O-level students. I didn't know many. I had only the sample is 3. I hope Dr. Beers is not there. They might say the sample is not representative, but I thought something is better than nothing. So if you have, I will give you the breakdown of how I did that. I made a few telephone calls and then I tried to summarize. For system survival, that is the sleep, food, toilet and rest, they spend 9 hours. Then education, school 6 hours of school, tuition 1.5 hours up to O-level. Homework and transport total 13.25 on average. So it's 55.2 per day. Entertainment indoor, TV only 5.2%, entertainment outdoor 2.1%. So you can see how heavily loaded a child is. No extra, no outdoor activities, and also no group exercises, no field work, no learning practicals, whatnot. I will explain to you in a little while with evidence. Then I did a survey on the students in A-level classes, and they are more pressed. If you look at this, system survival 29.2, they have reduced that because they think that they can come here and survive. So in education, you have school 6, again tuition I doubled it because that is what I got from the average. And then homework and transport total 16 hours. Entertainment, they have cut it to the bare minimum, 6.25 hours a day, just passing and all. And then entertainment and outdoor hours, 0. So this is the plight of our students. So what are we trying to do? So duplication is unavoidable because duplication means the school and tuition. Because the school requires 80% attendance for a student to go for the exam, appear for the exam. So the parents should press him or her to go, or otherwise bribe the principal. So for that also you have to have money. No time for anything other than theory. So they have nothing they can do other than theory, a poor learning environment. Right? So these are the summary statements. And there are other issues. Then there is a time loss at prime age. And about the IT and English exams. They sit for the IT exam, no results are released. English, they say pass. If you ask A-level students, sometimes they say I have 1 pass to see English, they have passed, but it is not in the result sheet. So they know that it's a joke. So there is no huge emphasis on this whole stuff in the school. I looked at a student who sat for the O-level in 2007, correct me if I am wrong here, December, and entered the university in 2011 October. He took 4 years. After O-level examination, to come to the university, it takes 4 years compared to your counterpart who stayed back in New Zealand or Australia where his or her son is growing up before you get old. Right? So they might have to send us a walking stick for us to go to my son's or daughter's wedding. Right? So this is where we lose. Then sat for O-level in 2008, worse. ESET scores in July 2012, selections, then you have leadership training, then you have admissions, then when would they go in? Now these are the things that we need to look at. There is a prime time loss where the students will pick up and we get staff. Guys, do we get the right students? The academics feel that there is a deficiency in the education sector, and therefore the students that reach the higher education institutes tend to be of lower quality when compared with those a decade or 2 ago. Now let me show you some of the research done on this. Right? I went into the National Institute of Education and looked at some literature on what they have done, the research they have done on school children. This Swarnatilaka in 2009 journal paper, research associated with GCL O-level science and technology subject incorporated in 278 schools in Colombo district. That only 50% of the teachers carry out dissemination of science, knowledge and concepts without a component. They carry out this without a component to experience the science processes. It's just theory. It's dictating. It's just picking it up. And we expect them to know the basics, the fundamentals. If this is the status of Colombo Discover, not only university education but also other technical courses and avenues for a student to enter the global community. Let's just look at this, right? I would like to spend a few minutes thinking, what are we doing? These two cases indicate the direction of today's advanced level teaching, which is not conducive to laying a foundation for better human resources development. Is there a systematic involvement? That is my question. Are we systematically involving in their preparation activities? Now, if you look at, I'll show you one simple example. Here is 2010 Combined Maths Teacher Training Manual, which I downloaded from the web. Department of Mathematics, National Institute of Education. If you look at the resource personnel, there are some university personnel, but we don't see engineering staff there. Do we have a systematic representation here? I think we need to be very conscious about the fact that the sector might need us, but the higher education academics are not delivering this. Then it appears that the education sector has forgotten the duties of the technical colleges. What are they for? If the guys are going out of A levels and getting into jobs with that curriculum, what are we doing with Unibotech? What are we going to do with technical colleges? What are these vocational centers? What are they for? We have forgotten that. And the line which are to build an employable person who can contribute to the economy, and as at present, the general education, right? So that is one example. I have many because of my old age. If we are targeting the lower end, but this is okay if we are targeting the lower end service sector. To develop ourselves to be the miracle, but to develop ourselves to be the miracle of Asia, then this may be, if we are targeting the lower end service sector to develop ourselves to be the miracle of Asia, then this may be sufficient. But not the knowledge hub. But then we may have to forget the knowledge hub business, because we are not looking at a sector which enable us at the universities to deliver people who would contribute to the knowledge hub.